broken system, chained and tangled up in lies. Voices shouting, screaming in defeat. Politicians playing games under darkened skies. Hope lost in the dust of the street. Red and blue, colors pouring from the sky. Debates turn to anger, the crowd gets loud. Punches flying in the blink of an eye. Truth buried deep beneath the shroud. Welcome to the bullpen, where the weak don't survive. These broken dreams we defend, trying to keep alive. Faces on the screen, flashing perfect teeth. But behind those eyes, just rotting greed. Politicians turn to whispers beneath. They all just get what they need. Whispering conspiracies, drowning in their lies. Echoes of freedom, lost in cries. Spin the wheel of fate, let's see who rise. But this game will bleed you dry. Welcome to the bullpen, where the weak don't survive. These broken dreams we defend, trying to keep alive. Welcome to the bullpen, where the weak don't survive. These broken dreams we defend, trying to keep alive.
Well, it's Sunday night, so that means it's time for the bullpen once again. We've got a little bit of a panel tonight. We've got Mad and Comix and Lil Chad. How are you guys doing?
Oh, I don't care that I'm lumped in with the guest like I'm not a co-host.
Co-host Mad.
No, you're a guest, Matt. Shut up.
Man, listen, just because I no longer have the link to your channel because I lost everything doesn't mean that you're right there.
How did you lose
That's your own damn
everything
fault,
if
buddy.
it was in your email?
Because
Your
I never
email-
signed. No, I never signed it. Oh yeah, I guess it would be.
Yeah,
an
you just
email.
got to search it in the email.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what I
'cause
do
I-
every week
I
with
never-
Brahma.
I never signed in for Opera, my browser, and so all the tabs I had saved are just gone.
For Oprah, huh?
Yeah,
I
it's
do
a
think
browser.
funny
Pretty sure it's called
Well,
Opera.
where Matt is constantly like, I don't have the link. He emailed it to you. It's still there.
It's always in the email.
I think
Just save
Are
it
you
under-
black, man? Do you not know how to use the internet?
I'm black adjacent.
He hasn't changed the 9-volt battery on his
Hold
hard
on,
drive.
Matt. How many Carnival cruises have you gone on in the
One.
last few weeks?
Oh, the last few weeks, okay, because I have been on one, but yeah, no. Like I have an ID, so but it's expired. You know what I mean? Because it's racist if you require an ID for voting. Bringing it back to politics.
Matt is planning on renewing his black card by marrying Rachel Dolezal.
Yes. Is she
Dude.
still on OnlyFans?
No,
I
she's
think
on
so.
Cameo now.
She's on Cameo now, yeah.
And
Really?
she
She's
got,
doing Cameo?
dude, she got set up. Somebody was like, "Oh, can you do this Cameo about our company and how successful it was?" And it's like, so, and all of it is all 13% of your company was responsible for over 50%
Of the production.
Oh
It
my
just
God, that's
never
funny.
clicked.
She didn't get it.
No, it was great.
That is funny.
It was.
Oh,
Dan Crane just became a member. Thank you very much, Dan. Good to see you.
that's awesome. It should be well known at this point that Brahma's channel does have memberships. and does accept super chats. And we will interrupt any tangent Matt is going on
Damn it, I can't
if
highlight
you
chat.
super chat. So
Did you use the speaker link I just sent you, Mad?
Whatever link you sent, I that's what I clicked on.
It's just,
But Lily
oh
of the
no,
Fox
it's the
Valley is correct.
speaker, not a collaborator.
Yep. No, that was smart on your behalf. I'm not gonna hold that against
It's
you.
the Mad pin. Yeah. I still think the best intro you ever did was the one while we were in Dallas and you took over Comix' show for the one night.
Oh, right. I put a
You
lot of
should
work
find
into that.
Yeah,
That's
you
never
should find
happening
that
again.
because I would love to see it again.
Put in so
I
much
guess I could
Never
go watch the stream.
Happening again.
It should.
I think so as well. I think
He's got a whole new
the people-
cohort now too.
Yeah. Oh, and I
Of
think I
course.
just added a black guy.
AJ,
Yeah.
that's funny.
Ever heard of him?
And Deeple, I did look into adding the Rumble members, but I can't find a list of where the Rumble members are. So on the outro, I don't know how to figure out who all is members.
On
So, yeah.
Rumble, you should be able to go to your back end. It should show it there.
I can see what channels I'm members to. I can't see who's members on my channel. It's weird. I haven't found the tab yet. So
That's
if you know where it is, let me know. Or if Tox does, because I'll add them. I just can't find it. So, so yeah, what do we want to talk about? Trump, Putin, Subway
Just
sandwich
go for it.
incident.
Oh God, so it's
Let's start with the Subway sandwich because it was hilarious.
that's pretty
So,
funny.
What did Jerry do now?
Jared,
Yep,
nothing.
that's the guy.
He's locked up for a long time. But we had another Subway sandwich incident. They seem to follow Trump around, one in each of his terms. You've got the this is MAGA country, and now you've got a very, very flamboyant man decided to throw his sandwich in the face of a officer of the law,
Oh, I saw
and
this.
then daintily ran away at half speed.
That shit was hilarious.
And it turns out that that man works for the DOJ. So Pam Bondi found out about it and immediately had him fired. And he's
no,
being
why?
charged with felony assault. Because
Good.
they're not screwing around anymore. Judge Janine is in there and she's pissed. So
Honestly, it's going to take decades for us to undo all the damage that the Ferguson effect has had on our law enforcement across
Yes.
across the country.
agreed.
I
Because
was I
people just
I
don't
was
think
a
they have
cop.
to respect anybody.
Well, it's far deeper than that, dude. I was a cop when that whole thing went down, and the paradigm shift and just everything that we did as a job, you just saw it almost immediately. You know what I mean? I remember rolling around and somebody reported a stolen car, and the kids, the grandson that stole the grandmother's car, his name was man, who was the kid that got shot by Zimmerman down in Florida?
George Zimmerman?
No, who did he shoot?
Trayvon Martin.
Trayvon, yeah,
Martin.
the dude's name was Trayvon Martin. I'm like, hey, listen, dispatch, I'm not gonna be running around here chasing a black kid named Trayvon Martin because it's not happening.
Was he
my
wearing
God.
a hoodie, though?
And did you have a pack
I-
of Skittles? And Zima?
Look, I I never
Yeah.
went after him. He did have I heard he had Sprite.
Sprite.
Oh, sorry, Sprite. My
I
bad.
thought it was Skittles and Sprite.
The Skittles,
Yeah,
Skittles,
Skittles
and
and
Sprite.
Sprite. Yep.
Yeah. For some reason, I thought it was Zima, but never mind. I don't think Zima's a thing anymore.
I don't think he was old enough to have a Zima. Was he?
Probably not.
Zima?
No one old enough ever had a Zima.
Yeah, true.
Also
My
true,
college
yeah.
years prove that.
Yeah.
Zima was what you got the girl who wanted to drink something but
He was
couldn't
like,
beer.
yeah.
I don't
Ooh,
like beer.
I
I don't
hate
like
Boone's Farm.
beer.
Zima's place in the world has been quietly and thoroughly replaced by White Claw.
True. And
Yeah,
just
it's just not the
seltzers in
same,
general.
I remember when I worked at a timeshare resort. I worked overnights, right, at the desk, and man, dude, I hooked up with so many. Anyway, so yeah, ladies would be on vacations or
Oh,
whatever.
any
with-
dudes?
Well, if I could, God, it was only women though. But this chick and I, we stole a paddle boat, and I remember we had a 2-liter bottle of Boone's Farm. like if it was a Coke, like a Pepsi, but it was
Yeah.
Boone's Farm in a 2-liter bottle. It's just insane. Just having that. I wasn't 21 though, so
That's
it makes sense.
classy.
I had to have her buy it.
Because she was of age and you were not.
Correct.
So she
Well,
was
he was
robbing the cradle.
He was not of age to be buying alcohol. You
Yeah,
were
yeah.
of age, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. That's probably good.
Yeah, I was probably like 18 and a half.
So what year of school was this a woman teacher of?
Was she your math teacher?
My guess is middle school.
It was weird when because she worked at I don't know, science ship with AIDS, and she was explaining to me how like a man can have sex with a woman that's HIV positive like so many times before they ever get HIV, but it's not the same for women. And I remember thinking, is she trying to set me up with some shit? Like,
Is she trying to tell you she has
right?
AIDS,
Am I getting
but it's
lamped?
okay?
I feel like I'm getting lampshaded a little bit, but I was 18 and a half and a leader into Boone's Farm, so I just ignored it. I ignored that little voice in my head.
The voice in your head is like, "Don't do it. She's got the HIV. Don't do it. She's got the HIV.
She's got the heavy."
And little Matt is like, "Fuck that. We're doing this. We're doing this."
Well,
Speaking of other things,
Turns out
if
she
you
was
got
right.
the same, if you got the same cocktail as Magic, you'd be fine.
Yeah.
the United
Matt got a different
Kingdom-
kind of cocktail.
I was going to say
From the
the United,
Molotov kind.
so the United Kingdom is trying to give the HIV to all the American internet companies, and they went after 4chan this week, and 4chan responded probably the best of any of the companies. They publicly sent
We're
their letter
American.
that effectively says, "We're American. We have the First Amendment. Fuck off, you English assholes."
Pretty much.
Here we
That
go.
should have been in their legal document. Fuck off, you
United
assholes.
States federal authorities have been briefed on this matter.
Yeah, so here it is. Like, according to press reports, the UK Office of Communications, Ofcom, has issued a provisional notice under the Online Safety Act alleging a contravention by 4chan and indicating an intention to impose a penalty of £20,000 per day, plus daily penalties thereafter. 4chan is a United States company incorporated in Delaware with no establishment, assets, or operations in the United Kingdom. Any attempt to impose or enforce a penalty against 4chan will be resisted in United States federal court. American
real quick.
businesses, yeah.
I forgot Delaware existed until you just read it. I was like, oh yeah, that's a place, huh?
Well, they're losing tons of corporate
It's a horrible place to be
incorporation
incorporated at
because
after the Tesla.
they went after Tesla, and a couple of the judges there, they have a special name for them, for the magistrates that handle corporate cases, are super heavy liberals, and they voided compensation packages for Musk twice.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I didn't realize
after
that
he-
was Delaware.
after he set very lofty goals
So what's funny
by
is that-
everybody's standard and exceeded all of those goals, they said, no, he can't have a corporate bonus.
That's just petty.
Yeah, what would he even spend it on? More science?
Probably Twitter.
More Twitters. Hookers and blow. I don't know.
But the next paragraph is great though.
Yeah, so the next paragraph here is American businesses do not surrender the First Amendment rights because a foreign bureaucrat sends them an email. Under settled principles of U.S. law, American courts will not enforce foreign penal fines or censorship codes. If necessary, we will seek appropriate relief in the U.S. federal court to confirm these principles. United States federal authorities have been briefed on this matter. The Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, was reportedly warned by the White House to cease targeting Americans with UK censorship codes, according to reporting in The Telegraph on July 30th. Despite these warnings, Ofcom continues its illegal campaign of harassment against American technology firms. A political solution to this matter is urgently required, and that solution must come from the highest levels of American government. We call on the Trump administration to invoke all diplomatic and legal levers available to the United States to protect American companies from extraterritorial censorship mandates. Our client reserves all rights.
Based.
Basically an FU.
I just got to be honest. If there's one online group that they shouldn't fuck with, it's 4chan.
It's 4chan.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4chan
Any-
and Kiwi Farms, I'd say.
Any of those English politicians who have anything in their life digitally that they don't want revealed
Oh, it's going to happen.
will have, like, this is like, you know, all those warnings from fake anonymous, like 4chan people will be like, you remember that flag that good old, what's his name, the actor from Transformers, Shia LaBeouf, like the "You Will Not Divide Us" is like our 4chan people found it in 1 hour, and all
Man.
it was a picture of the flag and the sky behind it.
They'll be sending them the Sonic Chew medallions, cursing all of the British Parliament.
Yeah,
Yeah, there
look.
was like another thing that something very similar happened where it was like, I guess some lady took a picture of herself, like a selfie, and they found where she was at too. It's like
Like they're doing soil samples and everything.
yeah, it's fucking crazy.
The Shia LaBeouf
Never
one was
piss
great.
off
They-
weaponized autism.
Yeah, they were
No.
like they were watching the feed to see like the contrails of planes in the sky and the orientation of the sun, and were
Yeah.
figuring out which geographic area it was, and then pinpointing to air traffic flying.
Based on the health of the St. Augustine grass there.
Yeah. Yeah, don't challenge the internet. The internet will win every time.
Oh,
True
looks
enough.
like you got a rumble over there.
I did. Mad, would you like to read this one?
Sure, I'm on that. I'm on this tab. Ahoy, Brahma, Chad, Comix in the. Man, you
Village
made me
idiot.
switch tabs to come over here for this shit.
Well, yeah, it's accurate.
Banned. If
It's
I
accurate.
once I get my privileges and stuff back, you're banned.
When I think of Mad Mardigan, I think of Village Idiot. I mean, it's just that simple. Come on.
And you guys
think
are
of
on the same village.
character I play in life, not the real me.
The character I play in life, not on YouTube, in life. Because I make my dinner reservations under Mad, because that's my name. That's what I go by.
Okay. Yes. Has it happened when they ask me at Chick-fil-A for a name, I say Mad, and I'm like, wait, nope, that's not my name. A couple.
You're not
Mad
going to finish
Mardigan.
reading?
What? Mad
And the
Cheese
village idiot. Ahoy, chat. I never thought I'd celebrate 4chan and the degenerates over there.
Yeah.
The UK is fucked. Memes posted to Brahma's Extreme post. Thank you, Deeple.
You're still spiritually banned.
Deeple said he'll give you super chats when you're available to get super chats, Mad.
Oh, I'm glad he brought that up because, good Lord, the way my channel's going, I'm never going to make it. But do have a tip jar. And you know what Wednesday is, right?
It's a
Wednesday
TV show
is-
on Netflix, I believe.
And Mad's birthday.
And it's Matt's birthday. Dude, why are you being so mean in my birthday week?
Have you met me?
Oh, man.
Brahma,
I'm not gonna
isolate
say
that.
who.
He said it's only a birthday week now.
Well,
not
yeah,
a
because
birthday month.
the
Oh,
past
he
2
got
months are done.
roasted last night for being
I don't give a
a
shit.
woman because he kept claiming
Birthday
a
month.
birthday month, birthday
I'm
week.
sorry. Some people are too dense to get the bit. But anyway, somebody woke up this morning not having any of this birthday week talk. She was not in the mood for my nonsense. This person, whoever it is.
Was that because you
Hypothetical.
stayed up till 4 o'clock doing multiple streams?
It had nothing to do with that. That's just how she woke up. She woke up a woman.
Maybe you cheated on her in her dreams.
No, she would have told me. I think it's moon cycle shit.
Oh. Oh, crap. That means me and Little Chad are in trouble, too.
Yep.
No, it's already been going on over here. What are you talking about?
Oh, great.
Okay,
now
then it
now I know where the
definitely is
infection came
cycle
from.
shit. All of our wives synced up Comix. Through us hanging out, all of our wives synced up somehow. It's amazing.
Wow. That's impressively scary.
Isn't
And
it?
yeah. I'm glad
I've
my
been-
wife doesn't
I've-
have that problem.
I've developed a theory on why that happened.
God
And
hates
it's
me.
based on it's based on Matt actually. We have a good time when we stream together, and I think
The joy.
over time, male joy is direct, like it triggers that within their female partner to suppress the joy. So that's why all of our partners are now synced up, so they can suppress our joy in
Yeah.
the same simultaneous period.
And I got
I'm-
extra lucky having 2
Sounds right.
daughters also.
Oh God, yeah, that's got to be hell. All three at the same time. Ooh. Did you ever take vacations like once a month?
No, I just stay out here a lot more.
It's like kind of it's similar to the idea where
When
they
you
would.
see me doing longer and longer streams, chances are we know what's going on.
Fair enough.
It's like the reversal what they used to do, where they would send the woman to the unclean box outside. She would have to live in
Uh-oh.
for a week.
Mad just got caught.
But
You did?
I've heard her yelling from the other room this whole time. Fuck your joy.
You know what? That is the official motto of Carnival Cruises.
Yeah. And the Flamingo Resort and Hotel in Las Vegas. Mark Daly for $5 over on the YouTube side. Critical drinker asks the U.S. to invade Britain. I'm warming to the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, we have more use for Greenland.
Yeah, but
They
you might
have
as
rare
well take
earth
all of
minerals.
Europe.
But there's people in Britain I like, and I don't want them to be subjugated by their government.
Yeah, Mike Evans. Sometimes it has.
Remember the 4th.
Mike Evans isn't British.
Yeah,
Yeah, he is.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, he plays for the Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yeah.
No, XRL7.
Not that Mike Evans.
Oh,
The guy who does the pixel animated show on YouTube.
yeah, I've heard of him.
I haven't talked to Mike in a while. I need to ping him, see what he's up to.
He's probably been arrested.
Probably. That got
So-
dark real fast.
Yeah.
Not for me. I'm not over there.
So shall we hit the
So, yeah,
the
let's
summit?
go into Trump and Putin.
All right, so we're going to kind of take it from 3 different perspectives. I mean, technically 4. We're going to give the basics of what happened. Then we're going to look at how the media covered it. We're going to look at how Europe reacted to it and what they're doing. And we're going to look at what Trump's ulterior motives are and what he may be working at beyond just the war with Ukraine, which is economic and important on that too. So the first and foremost, obviously, Trump had a meeting in Anchorage, Alaska with Putin directly to discuss ostensibly the war in Ukraine and how to resolve it. Putin brought along his entire entourage of cabinet members, but in addition to cabinet members, brought most of his large banking sector and business
The oligarchs.
leaders, the oligarchs. It's almost like in Russia right now really is kind of medieval. Like Putin's up top as the king, but he's got these ruling oligarchs that are effectively dukes and earls of their
Roaming
own
warlords.
And so I think all of our favorite moment universally is where Trump is walking Putin down the little red carpet, and unbeknownst to Putin, a B-2 bomber escorted by F-22 Raptors did a flyover pretty near ground and kind of like
Directly
surprised
over
the
their
shit out of
heads.
him. Putin looks up and is like, "Oh, what is that?" And Trump's like, "Oh, those are just our bombers. They're very stealthy. They come out of nowhere, Vlad. That's how they work."
Why don't you ask Iran what those are? Here, Chad.
That's
if
fine.
you don't have the video, I'll send it to you real quick so you can pull it up. So it doesn't pause on me.
that one. Yeah.
All right, it's in the private chat.
Cool. I'll get that linked. All right.
But
But
yeah,
so
Putin just
yeah.
kind of stops and looks up like, oh. It was fun.
That's hilarious.
That is something I think only Trump would think to do.
Yeah. Smart. Again, it's the whole peace through strength thing.
Exactly.
So they're walking on the carpet, they're buying F-22, and then here they go.
It's not super low.
Yeah, Vlad, those are the bombers. They can get you.
We're going to know within 5 minutes whether this meeting was worthwhile.
We'll be targeting all of your nuclear facilities and your missiles. Your mother of all bombs have no chance against our stealth bombers.
All right, so the meeting was didn't result in a direct, peace deal, but it wouldn't because Zelensky and the Ukrainian delegation wasn't there. It did last about 6-7 hours. They talked extensively about a lot of things, and what came out of it, at least as far as we're aware, was a proposal for skipping a ceasefire, which has always been the sticking point because ceasefires, there's a lot of incentive for people who don't want the war to end to break them. So they would, so Putin says, let's just go right to peace. Here's what I want. I want Crimea. I want the Donbass region. I will give up the other territory we have taken or effectively control at this point. And that will become part of Russia. The rest of Ukraine will be Ukraine. And that will be the end of the conflict. And a lot of people were very unhappy with that because they believe that Russia should not be rewarded by gaining territory for quote unquote starting the war. But sometimes you got to just deal with reality on the ground. This reminds me a lot of when Nixon went to China in 1972-ish, the early 70s. The Maoists had controlled mainland China since the late 40s. Chinese Taipei, which is now called Taiwan, which was the China government that the United States officially recognized.
The government in exile.
They were the government They didn't control anything. It had been run by Mao for 30 years almost, but by the time Nixon went there and officially recognized them, because in the end, Nixon was like, look, it is what it is. They run mainland China. We've got to deal with them.
Right.
So
but
what Trump is doing is
also at the
recognizing...
same time called it a two China.
Yeah. Now, Trump is recognizing that. And because Trump has endorsed this peace proposal, it's got his official endorsement. Because Trump recognizes this, Russia controls it. The longer this goes on, the more territory Russia is going to gain, not less. So let's just go ahead and settle it now. We did get some more clarity today on some, like, where people are like, well, what did Russia actually give up? We didn't, get anything from Russia, but that's not true because as Steve Witkoff was doing the rounds on some morning shows today, he discussed what Russia actually conceded, and this is a really big concession, and we'll play it right here.
We agreed to robust security guarantees that I would describe as game-changing. We didn't think that we were anywhere close to agreeing to Article 5 protection from the United States, in legislative enshrinement within the Russian Federation, not to go after any other territory when the peace deal is codified, legislative enshrinement in the Russian Federation, not to go after any other European countries and violate their sovereignty. So we agreed to there was plenty more.
So when he says Article 5, that's referring to Article 5 of the NATO treaty, which effectively considers an attack on any one NATO member an attack on
everybody
all
must answer.
NATO members. So when he says that Russia agreed...
Don't even come out here right now. I'm not talking to you.
When he says Russia agreed to Article 5 protections for Ukraine after the new territorial lines are drawn, he's basically saying as long as Ukraine doesn't actually join NATO...
Well, we're talking war. This is serious stuff. Don't come out here.
We will allow the United States, not Russia, by the way, not Europe, the United States.
I'm going to step away for a moment. Sorry.
Okay. Well,
Clearly, he was not talking to us.
No,
I've been watching their chat war going on.
Yeah, so they will allow the United States to provide, at the United States' discretion, Article 5 security guarantees to the remaining Ukrainian territory. And Russia's not going to start a war with the U.S., and I think this goes back to Putin's goal, which is he just wants the Russian territory. I mean, if you go back to that Tucker Carlson interview, where he gave that long, like, he sounds like me. He's like, we got to go back 1,000 years to really get to this.
That's how he
That's
did,
how he
yeah.
thinks, and because he considers
And he did it
Crimea-
without any notes. He just sat there
Yeah.
and explained the whole history of Russia.
So he considers that area of Ukraine, specifically Crimea and the Donbass, historically, culturally, and ethnically Russian. So it should be part of the Russian state. I don't think he has any like when people talk about designs on greater territory.
Rebuilding the Soviet Union.
I don't think he wants to rebuild the Soviet Union in terms of controlling complete countries that were all under the control of Russia. What I think is he wants control over any territory that prior to the 20th century, when we started drawing new country lines, was historically and ethnically Russian. And that's where he went in to get some of Georgia. That's where he went in to get some of Ukraine. These are all the historically Russian-owned lands. So that's why I think Putin is fairly comfortable with that as the end game for what he wanted.
So Witkoff came out and said those things. Rubio had come out and he had also made some comments on. Do you have the Brennan interview? Because he made comments that sure they're allowed to go make treaties. Ukraine's allowed to go make treaties with other countries as well. They're still a country, but we'll just watch him say it.
Critics of President Trump will say the pomp and circumstance, the red carpet, the warm handshake.
I think this
that
might be a
President
different
Trump
clip.
Yeah, this
simply
is
lost
Raditz.
that Putin
But this is
gained
actually
there
good because
just
the
by being
media
on the
does
world
not want to
stage
give
and
Trump
walking
any
down a
credit
red carpet
for
with the
it.
president. Your reaction to that?
Well, I mean, critics of President Trump are always going to find something to criticize. You don't even pay attention to it anymore. But I will tell you this, Putin is already on the world stage. He's already on the world stage. The guy's conducting a full-scale war in Ukraine. He's already on the world stage. He has the world's largest tactical nuclear arsenal in the world and the second largest strategic nuclear arsenal in the world. He's already on the world stage. When I hear people say that, oh, it elevates him, well, all we do is talk about Putin all the time. All the media's done is talk about Putin all the time for the last 4 or 5 years. That doesn't mean he's right about the war. That doesn't mean he's justified about the war. Put all that aside. It means you're not going to have a peace agreement between Russia and Ukraine. You're not going to end a war between Russia and Ukraine without dealing with Putin. That's just common sense. I shouldn't.
It's 100% realism. I continue to be very solidly happy with Rubio's job performance.
Mm-hmm.
He's done a great job.
Very true.
And he speaks to the public well through the media apparatus.
He's a very effective. Trump is lucky in Trump 2.0. He's surrounded himself with guys who can be effective messengers on an intellectual level of his more base commentary, like J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, Robert Kennedy to a certain extent about the health stuff. I mean, Scott Bessent and Howard Lutnick on trade. These are guys who can take what Trump is boiling down to for mass consumption and pivot to intellectually dismantle any person who tries to pretend they're holier than thou and my degrees make me better than you. Like what Rubio's doing with Martha Raddatz here, where she's like, he's platforming Putin and he's doing all this stuff. And Rubio's like, how else do you make peace if you don't deal with Putin?
Yeah,
Yes, you're not allowed to
he's a
speak
world
to-
leader.
Yeah. Well, and there were plenty of Twitter threads. I'm trying to find the one specifically that I saw, but it was basically, this is an abomination. Trump meeting with Putin, and you're just legitimizing everything that Putin's done. And then all the conservatives just went in there and were like posting pictures of every other U.S. president meeting with Putin over the past 30 years.
Yeah.
It's like, so
but when
it's really
Trump
only a
does
problem when
it-
it's Trump.
Yeah. God forbid.
It's just the hypocrisy. Because, I mean, the media's whole talking point is, well, Trump is still just a puppet of Putin. So you really can't trust anything that happened here because
Oh, totally.
we all know what happened back in the election. And it's like,
Oh, you
we've
mean that
just
thing that
spent-
was fake?
yeah, we've just spent 6 months completely debunking all of that, for the last time. There is no argument left. All the intelligence agencies have basically been shown to have been the whole thing behind that. along with Hillary Clinton and Obama. So, yeah, that talking point isn't going to work, but they're going to keep going with it.
It's a dead horse, and they're going to beat it to
Yeah.
death. Over
Well,
and over again.
they've said it so much that half the country already believes it as, incontrovertible. So, do we want to finish off this clip real quick?
Sure.
Yeah.
Have to say it. So people can say whatever they want. Ultimately, at the end of the day, we have to get the Russian side to agree to things that they don't want to agree to if we're going to have peace. If not, there'll just be a war. They'll keep killing each other, and life will go on in America and in the rest of the world, but not for Ukraine. So the president has invested a lot of time in trying to bring an end to this war. He deserves credit for doing that. He gets criticism for doing that. He could have just let this war go on. The president could have just said, this is Biden's war. It started under him. We'll do what we can for Ukraine, but we're going to focus on other things. He could have easily said that. But he's the only leader in the world that can get Putin to a meeting to talk about serious things.
True. 3.5 years, Biden could not get Putin to a table.
Come on, man. Seriously.
And that was one of the other funny
Come
things
on,
that came out of
man.
this. Was,
Vlad, who is this guy? Look at me. I'm the president. I'm talking about Putin. Vladimir
I
Putin's
did
not
love
going to
that-
take him seriously.
I did love that Putin came out during the press conference. It was like, oh yeah, I wouldn't have invaded under Trump. If he had been president for the past 4 years, this never would have happened.
Surprise, surprise.
So of course that just actually works against the point about Trump being Putin's puppet. But
Yeah.
it's what we all know to be true is Trump's a loose cannon. You can't deal with that. When he saw the weakness in the Afghanistan pullout, Biden's not going to do crap.
No, yeah. I mean, that was kind of obvious.
Here, let's address this one from Mark. Wait a minute. Putin is agreeing to Article 5 protection. I thought he didn't want Ukraine in NATO for just that reason.
So
They
per
wouldn't be
Witkoff-
in NATO.
Yeah, so per Witkoff, the agreement would be allowing the United States to offer Article 5 level defense protections to Ukraine, which, it's funny, that was technically already agreed to in the 90s. Like the United States did offer
For de-arming,
Yeah.
or for de-nuking.
for trading.
We were
for-
supposed to be protected.
we were supposed to offer NATO level security assurances for their territorial integrity.
But it basically means that the United States can independently veto any reason to go in with Russia if we don't feel that it's worth going to war for them, instead of
Yeah.
it being an automatic triggering.
Yeah, so because Putin trusts the United, and here I don't want to say trust the United States, but Putin is banking on the fact that unlike Europe, the United States would be far more ginger about committing ground troops and defensive, our actual blood and treasure instead of just treasure than the rest of Europe would be to try to set things off. Specifically, Putin trusts Trump and Trump's administration as nationalist patriots for the American people to make the right judgment in that regard, because the philosophical underpinnings of Putin's government are based on a philosopher by the name of Dugin. And Dugin believes very strongly in actually that the best situation that the world kind of had previous to this was the multipolar strong United States, strong Russia dynamic that effectively post World War II up until the fall of the Soviet Union, the world was actually in its most stable zone in terms of, because if there were any kind of
In
crazy
terms of hot
actors,
wars.
Yeah, did they take a highway to that stable zone?
I get that.
You mean
you.
yeah,
a highway to the danger zone?
To the stable zone.
yeah. So, and Dugin is specifically philosophically is very anti-globalist and World Economic Forum type people. He believes that the most rational and proper way for any country to operate is in the self-interest of its own people.
Right. America first, Russia first.
Not just America first, Russia first, but like Belgium first, France
Yeah,
first.
every
Germany
country
first.
is what he believes, but
Because if every country
you've
is
got to have the
acting-
big boys doing it.
No, but he thinks if philosophically, if every country acts in the interest of its own people, the world will be a better place, and you can forge real, lasting treaties and partnerships because everybody is rationally aware of what they're doing. Like Germany's going to be making deals that are good for its people in the long run, and there'll be win-win kind of deals, not like what happened in the United States. Dugan is very critical of how the globalists hollowed out the American manufacturing base, the American worker, and because it doesn't serve the interest of the American country, it serves the interest of the people very far up top. It's interesting that someone with those kind of political philosophy points is giving the underpinning for a government like Russia, where it's very oligarch heavy, but sometimes intellectual consistency isn't always the most dynamic thing.
Well,
Now, so we get the media
having
now.
those thoughts is not the same as being able to implement them in a country. I mean,
I think, to be fair to Putin, Putin is not a nice guy, but if you look at it from the lens of that as his political philosophy, you can pretty much telegraph every move Putin has made because they all fit very rationally within the lens of he is doing things for the long-term end goal of doing X, Y, and Z for those things. It
well,
may
and that
seem
also goes
crazy.
back to the beginning of this, what we've said from the start. This probably wouldn't have been happening if Biden and Harris had not pushed for Ukraine to be part of NATO. That was the red line, and that's what they specifically started trying to cross. And that was the impetus for the whole war. I'm sure he was looking for a reason the whole time to get these areas back.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, they gave him the excuse.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we
yeah.
gave them a lot of excuses to invade Ukraine. I mean, there was the testing facilities that were out there, the biolabs, and then there's the NATO thing, and that just needless to say, bad decisions were made. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but it just seems kind of weird that every time Putin invades Ukraine, a Democrat is in power.
Well, it was Obama. He took Crimea.
Yeah.
But W. Bush is who he took Georgia under, wasn't it?
He took, yeah.
Did he actually take Georgia? Because I remember the Georgia thing
Pieces
actually
of it.
happening.
That was during the
That was
Olympics.
part of Georgia. Georgia was the first one he went into.
And he teamed up with China in a very, national stage situation at that point. So, but yes, in recent history, it was W. Bush, Obama, with Biden as his vice president, and then Biden again. So, Mod Eric K for $1. Dims love to follow Joseph Goebbels, make the big lie, make it simple, keep saying it, and eventually they'll believe it.
Bless you.
If you repeat a lie often enough, people will believe it. True.
Yeah, true.
That's most of their strategy at the moment,
Yep.
especially regarding Trump.
Yeah. So
Thanks for the dollar, Eric.
And the media is 100% on board with trying to propagate that. That the meeting, in terms of what you're going to see reported on, just wait for tomorrow when Zelensky shows up with the rest of the European delegation. It's going to all be about the strong allies of democracy from
Pomp and
Europe
circumstance. Yeah.
trying to keep Trump from giving away the farm to Putin.
Yeah.
So, and Trump is so now we can move into what Trump's end goal is right from this meeting.
Sure.
Because we have to look at ending, goal one is ending the war in Ukraine. But more than even that, Trump has a lot of economic goals that he's setting the stage with this meeting with Putin. And it looks like Eric sent in another.
Yeah, we'll hit this one real quick.
Wait, real quick, man. That is a lot that you can say for $1 on Rumble.
Rumble, yeah, you can say pretty much what you want. Over on Rumble for $1, Mod Eric K again. People forget that we overthrew the lawful government in Ukraine, and Ukraine was killing Russians before they invaded. If that happened to us, we would have erased the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in 2014 at the Victoria Nuland, the Obama administration. There was a lot of where there was a quote unquote pro-Russian government running Ukraine, and they effectively overthrew it to put in place a anti-Russian government. And what they're
And money laundering government.
now on the Civil War side that he's talking about, the Azov battalion, as we've talked about many times before, was going into the Donbass and the ethnically Russian zones of eastern Ukraine and committing horrendous, grotesque acts of violence against the people there, or butchery, raping, all of those things going on for years. It was reported on in the New York Times. It was reported on the Washington Post. Not right-wing outlets that were reporting on now. They completely memory hold that they ever did report on those things once Ukraine and Russia were at war, because it wouldn't be very helpful if when Putin said one of the reasons he was going to war was to defend the Russian people who were living there against the quote-unquote Nazis of the Ukrainian military, because the Azov battalion does knowingly and lovingly trace its roots back
And
to working
outwardly.
with the SS during World War II, doing those kinds of things.
Yeah. Mad, do you have to take off? I think you said something in chat.
Yeah, I gotta go. Yeah, it's dinner time, which means
Right.
I gotta go.
Well,
pick
Eric
up something.
had one more comment for you.
Oh,
Feel better now? I gave some memberships.
why would that make me
And-
feel better? I'm a co-host. This ain't my channel.
And
You're,
Eric
you're
K.
guest.
gifted 5 Brahma Bold memberships. Those went to Mark Lurseth.
Oh wait, that was Eric
Socrates
K. I should have
Goat,
paid attention. Never mind. Sorry.
The Basco Scenario, Nate Hausman, and Michael Sallow. Thank you very much, Eric.
Get outta
need to
here,
get out
Mad.
there. No, I'm not going until she's going. No, I'm kidding. I'm just gonna turn off the internet. All right, guys. See y'all later.
All right,
Catch you later.
later, man.
So is that like
Alright.
code for sex or something?
No, it
Who knows
means
with them?
it does take like 8 hours for him because he takes a nap and it's whatever. He's a funny guy. All right, so getting into Trump's reasons for the meeting, right? So Trump does want to end the war, but it's not just because he wants to, and even though he says it, and I do believe he genuinely wants to keep people from dying. Trump has a lot of ulterior motives. So, like, on face value, point one of this meeting is to make an actual peace deal for the ending the war in Ukraine. Putin has made his proposal. He gave concessions for defensive assurances for Ukraine. This is probably his final last best offer because he's going to just keep taking more territory, and Trump knows this. So Trump he's got an A/B scenario, and Comix as a developer knows, like, let's do a decision tree, right? So
A/B testing.
Either A, Zelensky and Ukraine agree to the peace deal, and if so, war's over, right? Or B, Ukraine and the European allies and everybody else say no to the deal. Trump gets to be Pontius Pilate and wash his hands of it and say, look,
we're done. We're out.
we had a peace deal ready to go. You guys didn't want to do it. I will gladly sell all the arms, small arms, that the United States can make to Europe if they want to buy them and then supply them to Ukraine. But we're out of that business. We're no longer giving blank checks.
And a good chunk of the congressional Republicans have already basically stated the same thing. There is no blank check coming. We're done with that. There's still a
and
few idiots that still want to, but
mostly on the Senate side specifically.
yeah, Cruz has stated on the record, I believe, already that there's no stomach for continuing to send blank checks over to Ukraine.
So
I think they've got the votes.
And I think tomorrow, when those European allies and Zelensky show up, that's going to be the message Trump gives. Like, look, this is our way out now. If you don't want to do that, it's on you. Congratulations, Keir Stammer. Congratulations, Marcone. You guys can do it all. And this is a European problem.
Let's see Europe actually try to prosecute a war.
You want a
Because they've
million
been
rounds
depending
of,
on us.
he's like, you want a million rounds of green tip 5.56? We'll take the order. We'll send it right out of that Michigan plant. But guess what? We're not sending any more blank checks. You're paying for everything that goes over there now.
Yeah.
You can make American jobs. Because here's Trump's perspective, right? Because the Europeans are talking out of both sides of their ass. On the one hand, they talk about Putin as this existential threat to Europe.
And on the other hand, they'll buy
They're
their
buying
energy
his
from
oil.
him.
Yeah, they're still buying oil. Like, they're still the number one purchaser of oil as a group.
So they're funding the other side of the war,
So,
along
you
with
know,
India.
so
India
you know
got
what-
called out for the same thing.
But you know
India's
what?
been essentially funding the Russian side as well.
But
So
here's the thing: Europe. You know what Europe could have been doing? They could have been buying that energy from America. America
Which-
makes oil.
that was
And
what
that's-
was signaled last week. Is the official stance, I believe, is going to be, okay, we're going to try to end the war, but since you guys think that Russia is so bad at this point, you guys better start buying your energy from us. That's what Europe is going to be forced to concede to.
Yeah. So Trump's scenario tomorrow is: I'm no longer giving a blank check, but here's what you're going to have to do. We'll sell you all the arms, small arms specifically that you want. He's no longer gonna be sending like missiles that can reach Moscow and all that other shit. But he's gonna send all the stuff to try to keep it at stalemate. If they want to send anything else, that's on them. And you know what? How about we make a deal where you start making you go to American oil and gas companies and you start making these purchases. Put the futures orders in right now. Cancel your orders with Putin. But you're not doing that.
Right.
But the other reason Trump
Which was
wants
the same thing he warned them back at the NATO meetings in the first term. You guys are going to be dependent upon Putin because you guys have set yourselves up, closing down power plants and everything else. Where are you going to get your energy? It's him or us.
Well, and the other thing too is they should never have closed those power plants down. That was stupid.
No, that's
Very
why they're
stupid.
having to fire them back up now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as they should. I mean, the whole thing with energy independence is so important to a nation. You can't be reliable on another country for their, source of energy, especially a country like Russia. I mean, because if they really wanted to like screw Europe over, if Putin wanted to take Europe, which I don't think he does, all he has to do is just turn off, the spigot, and they're done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, so getting into the deeper economic reasons beyond just Europe stuff that Trump wants to do, it's called BRICS. We've mentioned it
Right.
before. Stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. They created this about around 2010, roughly, as a counter, economic system to what the U.S. was doing with the International Monetary Fund, with all the ways that the U.S. and the Western countries had to get money out, to give money and do all this. They wanted to create a system, specifically China.
to weaken the petrodollar.
Yeah, specifically China wanted this because China wanted to have an alternative reserve currency. Deeple, I disagree. BRICS is an important thing for people to understand. So, and for most of Trump's first term, Russia kind of stepped away from the BRICS issues and system because they were fine with what Trump was doing. They didn't care about Trump blowing up TPP. They didn't care about Trump blowing up NAFTA, because the dirty little secret is that China and Russia don't get along that well, really. They don't trust each other or like each other that much. But when forced together, they will work together for their own self-sustainment.
The other thing to notice with Russia during that time period in the first term was when Trump basically said he was going to sanction Russia over the Nord Stream pipeline. Putin basically shut it down for the rest of that term.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't doing anything. Biden comes into office, immediately Nord Stream's going back into production.
Yeah, when day one, by the way, Biden took off the sanctions that kept Nord Stream 2 from
Exactly.
coming online, and he killed the pipeline here in the United States, the Keystone pipeline
Keystone here.
that would have delivered Canadian oil down to Louisiana for processing and shipping.
Yeah, but this is just giving some background on the things that were happening that some people may not have remembered about
Yeah.
the original Trump term and
Yeah.
how Russia was dealt with.
Exactly. And Russia was fine with it, actually, because, again, Putin understands it. It makes sense to Putin. Like, the fact that people like Putin was probably like, somebody is super, is actually fighting for his own people. Congratulations. This is great. Because
Way to grow
I
a pair.
I think in his heart of hearts, Putin would love the idea of the United States actually neutering China, because China has become a global threat based on American money. And so Putin knows that. China didn't. Here's the thing. China didn't home grow any of their capability. They stole it through
all
intellectual
pirated.
property theft from the United States, and they funded it through money from the United States. So this is where Putin's at now. After Biden took office and the Ukrainian war broke out, Biden tried to push all these economic sanctions against Russia, and it forced Russia to go back to the BRICS system and create basically a secondary economy, a parallel economy for their oil and gas exports to be outside of the systems that the U.S. sanctions would cripple. And that's how India is still purchasing. That's how China is still purchasing. They're also purchasing at a discount. So this is where Putin comes in and has a reason he wants the war and these sanctions over. He doesn't necessarily want to use the BRICS system because under that, he doesn't get paid as well. He wants the war
Discounted
over,
sales.
and he wants to be able to sell his oil at fair market value to everybody, and also to forge strong economic ties with the United States to try to rein China back in. So this is where Trump wants, he wants to be able to reopen these ties, because here's the other thing Trump knows: the more oil is flooding the zone, the cheaper that price per barrel gets, the cheaper your gasoline bill gets, and that lowers the cost of every good you buy in the United
And then we
States.
can refill our supply as well.
He really wants to refill the strategic
reasonable price.
petroleum reserve at a reasonable
Exactly.
price. Exactly. And so this is where Trump is working. They always, it's not, they use, I think, the term 3D chess so much, but it's not 3D. It's just basic economics. Trump knows
It's
that
actually
it's in,
really easy to see if you just pay attention to the man and not what's being said all
here's,
the time.
and this is another thing, that the number one maker of nitrogen fertilizer in the world was Russia. And we cut that off when we sanctioned them. And so we don't buy Russian fertilizer except when we make emergency concessions to allow it to happen for our farmers. If you go back and watch Clarkson's farm, when he was complaining about how fertilizer costs quadrupled, it wasn't inflation. It was the Ukrainian war, where the European Union and the United States under Biden completely shut out any allowance of exports of nitrogen fertilizer from Russia. They were the global, when you're a global economy and one country is super specialized in something and your entire supply chain depends on that one country, if you turn off trade with them, the cost goes up exponentially. So that's what happened. And guess what? When you increase a farmer's cost for fertilizer, everything you buy gets more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So he's working on a lot of, like basically flooding. Like if we remove these barriers that went up after the Ukrainian war, the costs for everybody around the world on a lot of these things are going to go down, and it'll help reset the issues from inflation. Whoever the new Fed chair is will hopefully start cutting rates. It's a domino, right? He wants all these dominoes, and it puts him in a better position to isolate and manage China. Now,
Well, we need the dominoes to fall for the economy to grow as much as it can, rather than being limited. I mean, we need all those, stool legs that we have talked about over the past few months we need all of those working for it to really fire up and go as good as the first term did, getting costs down, some deflation, and interest rates being at a level where people can actually buy something.
Or making it so people who live in Colorado won't be getting gutted on their energy costs.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Indeed.
Now, it's funny that this kind of all ties into a story I sent you earlier today, Brahma, where they're doing some hardcore immigration enforcement.
Yeah.
So I think so it's this all kind of ties together. So I'm going to share this story here.
Yeah, bring it on up.
All right, where's my volume?
What did the president say about critical minerals?
So
Well, actually, and making the U.S. Self-sufficient when it comes to rare earth minerals is at the top of the president's priority list. If you look at the map of Ukraine and see the areas that Russia controls, it's territories where the rare earth mines sit. Now, in April, the agreement with the Ukraine and the U.S. entered into a joint partnership where profits from rare earth mining and
now, let me see. When did we get to the good stuff here? This is all right. Looks like. Oh, here we go. It was around here.
protection has now
So-
broken up a massive Trump tariff evasion ring in two operations. Now, this started on January 20th through August 8th. CBP collected more than $400 million in tariffs from bad actors who tried to evade through transshipment. Enforcement teams had boots on the ground in Indonesia and Taiwan, seeing mattress factories showing no production. More than half of the collection coming from Chinese companies, funneling goods into South Korea, Indonesia, and Vietnam, repackaging those goods to pretend they did not come from China. The Chinese investigation involved 23 U.S. importers and a network.
So what Trump is having his CB people do, after we made all these trade deals, and we've talked about it on the show multiple times about transnational shipments where China will hide that it's coming from China. They send the goods to a middle country, Vietnam, India, wherever. They repackage the goods to have that as the country of origin, and then ship them out of that country to avoid Chinese tariffs.
Right. Or they ship them the parts, have it
Yeah.
compiled in a country.
Yeah, so what Trump is actually doing, and that's because we have actually people who are smart now running this show, who are interested in it, Scott Bessent, Howard Lutnick, etc. They are sending Customs and Border Patrol investigators to these alleged factories to verify that that work is actually being done there, and they're finding their ghost factories. There's no, they're just repackaging. And when they find that, they immediately shut it down and then give them the back bill for the tariffs that they would be owed from the fact that these are all Chinese goods. So this is where we're hitting. These are not insignificant. We're talking about like $400 million that were unpaid, and they've collected 250 of it so far in fines. And so Trump is specifically looking for the loopholes. Like when he made the deals, they knew this was going to happen, so they're not just letting it go. They're sending they're sending people out there to do the checks to make sure
There's
that we're
teeth
not
behind the
letting that
policy.
happen. Exactly. And this also sends the message to China that we're not letting you get away with this shit.
Right.
This is a different administration. We're not just going to look the other way. We're not just going to pretend you aren't doing it. And as this is happening, remember, he's about to just completely nuke the USMCA with Canada and Mexico and make them negotiate new bilateral trade deals where he's going to have the right to send investigators to make sure they're not doing the same thing in Canada and Mexico. You're muted, Brahma.
No, well,
So we're able to get out of the USMCA, but the other countries are not able to unilaterally do it at the moment, right? It was a clause written in for us.
Trump wrote an out clause for the United States
Right.
for August of 2025 that basically it's every 5 years
We can
he'd be
reevaluate.
able to reevaluate the trade deal and either renegotiate it or kill it.
Yep. Since it didn't actually mark this one, let me show it because membership chat from Toxic Man Flu celebrating a month of membership. 1 month of intelligent entertainment. Also, Comix took all the Diddy lube. I believe that.
Well, Tox, you still have a bottle. I mean, I left you one. But you might need to check your ass because that's where I left it.
Of Chinese shell companies. Now, the head of the investigation says that this is only the tip of the iceberg. There could be more as the number of cases, currently 89, is going to grow, and the number of tariff money that should be collected will be collected. That number could also grow. Back to you, Ashley.
Busted.
So this is
Busted.
all of the So with Trump, you have to understand, and I think we've done a good job of trying to point this out. It all goes back to economic leverage because that's the most important leverage we have, and he's not letting any of this stuff slide. Right now, he's starting to get into a turf war with India, and I think because he recognizes India could be a future China in terms of sucking manufacturing jobs away from the U.S., and he wants to kind of head that off a bit. And at the other hand, now I love what Trump's doing, but there are mistakes. If Trump really wanted to bend India over, he should cancel H-1B visas.
Yes.
Just cancel them, shut it down, because if they didn't, that's where India gets a giant ass of production of money coming back in H-1B visas, sending money back to India.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that's interesting, and I don't know if you've seen this, Comix, you might like this. There is a specific website that has come up for when a company puts out an H-1B visa listing.
Mm-hmm.
There was a secret, very not promoted website where they had to put up the job listing, and if any qualified American applied, they were canceled from making the H-1B visa holder for that job a permanent resident.
Wow.
And so I know Jack Posobiec and other guys started promoting it, and all these Americans who have all the qualifications, especially in computer work, started flooding the zone and just crushing all these visa applications that are now canceled because there's qualified Americans who have put in resumes and applications for it.
I think it's funny that they had it as a secret website. It's like there's plenty of Americans out there that want jobs, and you're deliberately sending them overseas. It's like, come on.
Yeah, if there are jobs available, Americans should get them first in America.
No, absolutely, and that's how it should be. And again, I understand that they, the reason why they outsource stuff is because it's cheaper. I mean, I think I mentioned one of the here in San Antonio. I don't know if it's like this everywhere else, but these large kind of conglomerate companies will go and buy plumbing companies and AC companies and basically kind of take over them, but they'll keep the name so people think they're still local. Right. And if you call their support, you're getting somebody in India, you're not getting anyone local.
That's almost every company's support anymore. That's part of the issue. Would love to be able to speak to somebody who could speak English well enough for me to understand what they're trying to tell me. And we keep getting your screen share either way. I think you've got to let me take it out instead of you taking it down.
Yeah, I will.
See if you can remove it down at the bottom.
Let's see.
I tried switching scenes. It didn't want to work.
It doesn't want to give me the option to do anything.
Okay. Well, next time you screen share, it'll just pop back on, and then I can try to take it off. So I think that... I think we hit on most of the stuff about the Trump-Putin summit then. Yeah. Was there any other major points you wanted to go into?
No, I think
we're going to see the media losing their freaking minds this week.
Yeah,
it's going to be glorious.
It's going to be the main deciding factor to see which way we're going, right? On that A/B flow chart, right? Is Trump going to Pontius Pilate get to wash his hands of it? Or are we going to get a real peace deal? If Zelensky was an actual genuine good leader, he'd take the deal, because you're just losing more and more territory over time.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if there was any talks about whether Zelensky is removed as the president immediately after the peace deal signed, or what kind
Well,
of
nothing too.
situation they discussed there.
I'm wondering what you guys' thoughts on this. If Zelensky does take the deal, because I remember back when this initially started, you had people in the left freaking out saying, we will not, let Ukraine, give territory to Russia, right? Now, I remember Uche saying this shit like years ago before he passed away. May he rest in peace. Do you think that the left will basically push harder on the Trump Putin collusion if they get Zelensky to take the deal?
Yeah, I mean, they already are. That's the only talking point they've got at the moment. So it would not surprise me at all.
I mean, I know
they're
there
just
are.
going to say that Trump gave Putin everything that he wanted.
He wanted, yeah.
And there was nothing given back in return. Full on believe that that's the way that they're going to attack this one.
Because you heard about the whole thing with Hillary Clinton saying, well, if she gets peace with Russia and they don't have to give up territory, she would nominate him for a Nobel Peace Prize.
It wasn't just that. Putin had to give back everything he took of Georgia, Crimea, everything.
Oh, really? Georgia and Crimea? Wow.
Anything
I didn't realize
that he has taken.
Wow.
Well,
That's
Crimea
what she
was part of
wanted.
Ukraine.
Yeah, well,
Sure,
basically, she
but-
knows that would never happen. So I think that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that was what she was saying that she would actually nominate him for. So, Copy Kitty did have a question, Chad, and I don't really have a whole lot of input on it. What are Putin's thoughts on being blamed for the sabotage of Nord Stream pipeline?
I think
I'm not sure he
Putin
cares.
didn't- Yeah, my understanding is that Putin thought that was quite the joke that they would even say that. I mean, he knew it has come out publicly fairly a long time ago that we did it. The West, I should say, was the one responsible for doing it.
Intelligence agencies.
I mean, Biden let it slip several times. Then, but so Putin knew he didn't do it. So it is a fact of the world that it happened. So,
Well, the very idea of him blowing up his own pipeline is retarded.
Yeah, especially against a country that he could squash anytime he actually wanted to, I think.
Yep.
Toxic Man Flu for $5. My company is pulling the call center out of the Philippines because it has been awful. They're going back to onshore staff. That's good. I think
good.
we'll see some of that, but I think I think what we're going to end up seeing with a lot of companies is they're going to start using AI for most of their customer service. I mean, we've already seen it with chatbots for years. Half the time you can't even find a number for a company without going through their stupid little chat bot for 30 minutes first, and then it'll say, oh, well, we need to connect you with a person now. So I think we'll see more of the AI, probably less actual humans in that, but I would prefer that those humans actually speak English, like I said. But it's good that company's doing it. Because it's no longer just a joke that we all make about customer service. It literally is every company you call. You get nobody who speaks English.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing about it is, like, you talk about the whole thing with the chat bot. I mean, that's something I'm actually working on for the company I'm with right now, is creating a chat bot that will go and open tickets. Somebody calls in and, hey, we have an issue with such and such. It'll go and create a ticket rather than having to go and talk to somebody. And then if they do need to talk to somebody, they basically leave a message and somebody calls them back.
Yeah, and who knows? I mean, the younger generations might actually like that because they don't like talking to people anyway on the phone.
Yeah.
But like guys our age, I would rather just talk to somebody and get it done than sit there and interact with a chatbot for 30 minutes before finding out the chatbot can't do anything for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing that we're doing, because as is, like, if somebody has an issue, they call in, they leave a message, and the message goes to our ticketing queue. And so rather than leaving a message, they talk to the AI agent, and it transcribes what they're saying, and it opens the ticket, and we don't have to listen to a freaking WAV file from their voice message, which makes things a little easier.
Yeah, that's not. I mean, and that's some of the innovation that I think
Yeah.
will make the chatbots actually usable.
Yes.
I'm talking about the ones we've had for 10 years. I mean, they're horrible.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So-
like those. Yeah, I wouldn't consider that to be-
Verizon or T-Mobile's chatbot, where it's just like,
Yeah.
well, have you tried this? Yeah. Okay. Well, have you tried this? Yeah. Okay. I mean, it tries to troubleshoot with you, and there's no way to tell it where I've already done all
Yeah,
of this.
I've done all this crap.
I don't need that. I need advanced support,
Yeah.
like from a person. So,
Yeah, I run that every time we have an issue with Spectrum. Yeah. Here in San Antonio. It's like I have to go through all these things. It's like I know what the issue is. Usually it's involving a pass-through IP not being set up. And I have to go through all this stuff just to go, yes, I need to talk to a technician.
yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's annoying. Nobody likes it. So,
Nope.
and but that's where, you know, the AI innovations that we've been seeing over the past 2 years may actually be able to do something, because if it can actually understand what your question is and try to give you an answer that actually does something instead of just a flow chart,
Yeah.
then maybe it's more useful at some point. So where do we want to go next? Because we still got a whole bunch of stuff that happened outside of the Trump Putin meeting.
Should we go a little? I think I've got a fun clip that we can use for the continued taking over of DC.
Yeah, I sent you the clip of the police chief as well.
Here we go. You know me, I like it when they make them babies. It's
Oh
hilarious.
no, it disappeared. There.
Nancy Pelosi has attacked the president for deploying the National Guard to the city, saying that it is to cover for his incompetence. Hillary Clinton has also attacked the president for securing the city of Washington, D.C. I'd like to get your response to Nancy Pelosi and Hillary Clinton.
Sure. Well, first of all, Benny, I'm so sorry that happened to you and your family. There have been, unfortunately, far too many victims of crime in this city, and I know the majority of residents in the District of Columbia agree with you. In fact, a new poll from the Washington Post I was reading this morning, this was released in May of 2024, so it's quite funny how many of you in the media agreed with what the president was saying yesterday, but now once the president says it, many of you are disagreeing with him. But this poll released by the Washington Post found that 65% of district residents think crime is an extremely serious or a very serious problem, and this was up from 56% last year. So the concern that you share with so many other residents in the District of Columbia is real, and that's why this president is taking action to address it. To get to the heart of your question, I think it's despicable
Comix, as
that
someone who's been
Democrats
on the
cannot
show with Benny
agree
Johnson,
that
do
we
you
need more
find
law and
baby
order in a
Benny
city that
Johnson
has
funny?
been ravaged by
Yes, I do.
violence, crime, murders, property theft. This should be a winning issue for all Americans. I don't understand. It's just anything President Trump does, the Democrats want to disagree with. I think the president would love to work with Democrats on this issue to bring law and order to America's cities, but unfortunately they have failed, and that's why he's taken this historic action to federalize the National Guard. And as you're seeing from last night's numbers, we already have seen success. We are removing violent offenders, we are arresting criminals, and we are removing drugs and firearms off of the streets of the city to make it safer for all of us.
So, as someone who lives in the area and has lots of friends who are involved in securing said area, I'll share an anecdote that was sent over with from some of the groups I'm in. In the 3 days combined with all the federal assets, we pulled over 300 guns off these assholes and booted all the park dweller campers out of the city. So,
Nice.
I mean, the what's also funny is the gun permit approval times have now dropped from like almost a year to like 15 days for DC.
No, that's good. I mean, it's an improvement.
The other thing that is kind of funny is the online bulletin boards for all the protesters. There has been a 400% increase in the activity of them moving the protesters to DC to try to get all these people. These are the bulletin boards where you go to get paid for being a protester, not because you actually believe in anything that you're protesting, but because they're offering money to go there.
Yeah. I need cash. I'll go protest.
Here's
Yeah.
funny. If you want to end a protest when it's being done that way, just order a bunch of pizzas and have them delivered to the side, and they think it's the food for them as the protesters, and they'll just all immediately move off of doing the frontline protest to go get their pizza.
Finally, they're feeding us.
Yeah, it is. It should not be. It should not go unreported. Washington, D.C. is a majority minority city. Like, the actual residents of the city are mostly African American. The crime rate being out of control affects, as a result, mostly African American people. The people who are the top beneficiaries of Trump reducing crime in Washington, D.C. are African American average residents. If you watch the TV reports where the local
protesters.
news is talking to the actual residents, they're all happy. They like it. They're like,
It's no different
13-year-olds
than
aren't
the-
carjacking me.
It's no different than the defund the police movements that we saw throughout 2020 and on, where it's the white people that are calling for the defund the police. The people that live in the neighborhoods are like, no, give us more damn police. We would like to be able to sleep at night without worrying about getting shot in a drive-by. I mean,
That's just your internalized racism talking. Resist.
That's just like your
you
opinion.
notice all the
man.
protesters this last couple days. I mean, somebody in the chat said it, but they're all white. You don't see hardly any of the protesters that aren't white college kids or old white folks.
Yeah, because the old white folks don't have anything better to do, much like the college kids.
Yeah, I mean, they're just reliving their hippie days.
Yep.
And the college kids are getting paid because they know how to find those online bulletin boards. Night Talks. Thanks for the super chats.
Ladies, dude, take care, man.
Appreciate it. Yeah, remember, everybody, you can derail the show with whatever topic you'd like addressed with super chats or purchasing memberships. They are
Or
all
by
allowed.
being the third co-host, Mad.
Yeah. But no, it's the taking over. And what's funny is, in addition to taking over DC, which he's allowed to do, I know there's a court case that's now being put through the system, but the Home Rule Act is super explicit that he just doesn't even need to have a specific reason aside from his general feeling that it's needed to do it for 30 days.
Up until the 70s, I believe the president appointed the mayor of DC and most of the other major positions.
That was the Home Rule Act.
Yeah.
that devolved it. Honestly, DC was created by a land ceding from Maryland and Virginia, the federal enclave. There was a land grant from Virginia and a land grant from Maryland that was then created as the District of Columbia. The land grant from Virginia was returned in the 1800s because they didn't need it. The land grant that is everything besides where the White House, the reflecting pool, the National Mall, the Congress building, all those things is all from Maryland. The easiest way, every time I hear them bitch about statehood, do exactly what they did with Virginia. Give the land grant back to Maryland.
Yeah.
Just make it. Yeah, it was originally Maryland. I'm going to be honest, it blends in with that part of Maryland very well. It should let it be Maryland. Yeah, Maryland is just not a great state. So this is where the land, it's an easy way to solve it too. You don't have to do anything silly. DC there's no reason to make something that's of one of the smallest major cities by geographic territory in the country into a state. That is asinine. It is retarded.
Well, I mean, the only reason why they want to do it is they want to do everything within their power to prevent the Republicans from winning in the future. And I mean, you hear, I'm trying to remember where this was posted at or what website this was on, but apparently they're talking about wanting to do it with the Electoral College as well as the Senate and packing the court, doing anything they can to go and preserve, their threat to democracy. It's funny because they always talk about threat to democracy, and then talk about getting rid of the Electoral College, packing the courts, and getting rid of the Senate is not a threat to the democracy or the representative republic. Come on.
Well, that's this whole week. That's been your boy Beto O'Rourke down there, who can't win an election, but now has said, we need to go on the attack. We need to, if we get any power, we're going to pack the Supreme Court. We're going to make DC a state. We're going to do all these things. It's like, if you guys are going to telegraph that, then tell us why we wouldn't just do it now.
Yeah.
Why shouldn't we? I mean, if it's a threat to democracy that we would do it, why isn't it a threat to democracy that you would do it?
Because they're the good ones, Brahma, and we're the evil ones. We're
and
the
Newsom
evil
has
plebs.
been spouting the same BS.
No, I mean,
Newsom's
and again,
lost his
he
freaking mind.
no, he's gearing up for his presidential run.
Oh, we
okay.
know.
I'm not saying anything nobody hasn't figured out yet or whatnot,
Yeah.
but it's like was it Trump? Was it 2028? Somebody sent him a Trump 2028 hat. He's like, this is proof right here that Trump's planning on running again. It's like somebody sent you a fucking hat as a troll.
A gag
dude.
hat.
Yeah. It's not going to fucking happen, and you know it. But again, it's red meat to his fucking base. They will
But they're
eat
going
it
back
up.
to the same talking point that they did months ago.
Yeah.
This is all part of Project 2025. He's going to run again. He's going to dissolve the Congress, blah, blah, blah. It's like,
But
at
we
what
will
point has he
dissolve the
done anything?
Congress.
Yeah, we're going to get rid of the filibuster. We're going to pack the court, and we're going to make extra states to make sure that we never lose power.
Yep.
We're no threat to democracy. We're not the authoritarians.
Because we're the good guys.
Yep. Parrot Head for $2 trying to sidetrack the conversation, as Chad said. WNBA dildo nets. LOL.
Mm-hmm.
They did put up nets to keep dildos off the court. And I haven't heard of any more stories about them hitting the court, so it's kind of sad because
They need someone with a strong arm.
I was really watching those betting markets. JB for $5 is a super sticker with a pair character doing a classic mic drop.
Nice.
And then Copy Kitty comes in with 5 gifted Brahmable memberships. And those went to King Rooster, Juan Carlos Gonzalez, 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser, John Hauerkamp, and I lost it. Tolbat. And also Eric K. Evie Mux doesn't let me do live or top chat. I have it on live chat on my YouTube studio, but Evie Mux just brings in what YouTube sends it over. So if there's a couple chats missing because it's not doing live, it's probably because it defaults to top in EV Mux. Or else I would have it on live chat.
It looks like Copied is asking about the Roblox nightmare. Yeah. I have concerns that the Roblox situation is going to be used, and we talked about this a bit on our Friday show, as the way to try to push the United States version of the Online Safety Act.
And digital IDs.
Which is effectively a Trojan horse to go after those of us who choose to be anonymous on the internet. Anonymous, going back in like my history lessons, anonymous commentary has a very long and proud tradition in the United States going back to the founding of the United States. A lot of people are familiar with Thomas Paine, right?
Yeah.
Thomas Paine, was he in House of Pain?
No.
That was such a mad comment.
I had to. I'm
Although
channeling
he
my
would've just
inner
gone
mad.
into lyrics.
Yeah, so Thomas Paine famously wrote the Common Sense pamphlet.
Yeah.
Anonymously.
Scathing political satires.
Yep. Which was one of the founding intellectual documents of our American Revolution. And he did it anonymously because he was aware, as at the time, subject of the crown,
that you were subject to death for treason.
It was treason to speak against the king, and doing so was that. Well, Deeple, with the Ottoman Empire and Thomas Paine, you can go back to the fact that Thomas Paine eventually found his end going over to the French Revolution, trying to help go against and found the French Revolution. So he was in Europe going against that. So if you want to go in the fact that at the time, the French Revolution directly spawned Napoleon, who would then, in his expansionist moves, be a foil to the Ottoman Empire, you could kind of make a connection that way. It's a little bit of a reach.
But you're gonna.
But I'm gonna do it. So there you go.
How does this circle back to Rome?
I'm glad you brought that up, Comix, because I think about Rome every day.
Common
I
law.
do too.
I think we all do multiple times.
As we should, as right-thinking Americans.
Indeed.
Looks like we got another.
Yeah, Mark Daly for $5. The WNBA, where the wives and girlfriends section is the entire arena. So true.
Never gets old.
And then you got another one after that, Brahma.
Yep. Mark for another $5. The GOP should end the filibuster now, pass election reform identical to Florida's, and the Dems would never get either house back ever again.
And you know why that won't happen? Because the GOP won't even go out of session in the Senate to allow Trump to do recess appointments. So,
plus, even if we did do that, and we think it would the Dems would never get either back again, sooner or later everything changes. That is what has kept the filibuster and other things like that in place, is because everybody knows sooner or later the power does flip from one party to the other. It may take a while, but in almost every case, you're going to see the other party in power at some point, and they're going to use what you've done against you. That's why the Democrats shouldn't be spouting this crap. But if they are actually going to push for it, yeah, I would say we should just go ahead and push that trigger. Pull that trigger. Push that button.
So yeah, like right now, Texas got foiled temporarily because in the end they'll eventually get it passed. The redistricting.
Yeah, they'll have to call a second session.
Well, I mean, this happens every time they do this shit, right? And they eventually come back, and whatever the Republicans were trying to get passed that they ran away from gets passed.
I would hold them in contempt if they come back into town. I would hold them in contempt of Congress and keep them in a jail cell until they actually call the special session, and then bring them in chains to do their jobs.
Yeah, so so Newsom, it leaked out, has a plan to redistrict 5 seats out of California, which is hilarious because California is going to be losing so many seats in the next census anyway.
Yeah.
When they talk about gerrymandering, the most gerrymandered states, and we talked, I think, last week.
Yeah, we talked about it a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, was
later,
like Illinois. Later, Illinois, Massachusetts, where there's 0 Republican representation.
Right. Most of these states are already so gerrymandered that the Dems can't actually do anything to gerrymander them more.
We're going to gerrymander harder, folks. You already got rid of all the Republicans. Yeah. How are you going to gerrymander more?
The only places they can conceivably do enough to try to pick up the seats they would need are California and New York.
Yep.
And here's the problem with New York. They Hochul tried to gerrymander it last election, and New York actually has a law on the books for an independent commission to make reasonable districts. They actually, it's supposed to, they've outlawed gerrymandering in New York. So if Hochul tries to do it, it'll go back to the courts and it'll probably be overturned.
She'll
because
slap them down again. Or they'll slap her down again, I mean.
Yeah, so New York,
and technically California is supposed to have a commission that does it as well.
Yeah. And even that is a short-term thing because they can only gerrymander so much. But if the Supreme Court in this next session, and they've agreed to hear this case, eliminates minority majority districts as being mandated, basically outlawing them, that you can't make a congressional district on purpose to be a guaranteed minority
just to group
representation.
Together minorities. Yeah.
My God, their
maps are screwed.
The correction will probably result in about 20 seats being moved.
And every time we've talked about this, we have admitted that also the Republicans do it. So,
Yes.
I mean, we're not saying what we're saying is gerrymandering happens.
Yeah.
So
There is, yeah,
It's
and
bad, but
part
this
of
this is
wielding
the
power.
yeah.
yeah,
This is the rules
gerrymandering
that
is
are there.
not-
We have
yeah,
to use those fucking rules
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
if we try and be
power.
above it all, we're going to just screw ourselves.
There's nothing actually illegal about gerrymandering. It is
No.
considered the one of the gains of victory. If you win
it's
at the state
spoils
level,
of war after
yeah.
an election.
If you win at the state level and control the state house and the levers of state government, you get to draw the districts at the state level and send what effectively is your state representation to Congress. Don't forget, originally the founders were perfectly happy with that because they wanted the individual states to be a buttress
themselves.
against federal government's power, and they even gave, before we fucked it up, they even gave one half of the co-equal branches of government to the states. The senators were appointed by state government, by the state legislature, to serve 6-year terms. They weren't directly elected. That took a constitutional amendment to change that.
Yeah.
And they did it on purpose to give states a representative in that house. The House was the people, the Senate was the states,
And
they
Senate
controlled
ran
passing.
longer.
Yeah.
Their term ran longer than a presidential term.
No, but here's the other thing: the term ran longer, but a state legislature could recall a senator any time and replace them.
Sure.
So the Senate couldn't kick you out for 6 years,
Your
but
own
the state
Congress
legislature
could in
could
the state.
recall you. I mean, a good example: Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, right? People remember that. Not every state had switched to direct elections at that point. That he was appointed by the state legislature, and when he was doing his filibuster, when they had faked that he had been the person responsible for the scandal, the state legislature was going to recall him as the senator, but he wouldn't give it up. So the way we developed government to be, hopefully, and this is, again, the founders knew that people would be greedy and assholes and do whatever. It was to give each group a bit of power that they would wield, and this is
checks
the
and
term.
balances.
They and if you read the Federalist Papers, they would say that they would wield it jealously, that they would hold on to their individual power and not cede it, and that would create the checks and balances, because no one would want to give up the power they had, and they only had enough to do so much, right? And if you really wanted to do stuff, you needed everybody to agree on something.
Right.
What the founders never envisioned was us being so batshit retarded that we passed, under Woodrow Wilson, constitutional amendments number 1 for an income tax. Fuck that. Number 2, to take away the state's power and to directly elect the senators, because all that did was effectively make senators 3-term congressmen.
Yes.
Running on a statewide level.
And we've seen how that's working.
And
they
then
work on their own. They work based on what they feel like working on. They don't do what a mandate. When there's a mandate given, they don't have to care. So it's not going great. I did want to hit up Mark Daly's comment here. Comix, this was at you. So Comix is right. We need to stop being above it all and do to them what they do to us.
Yep.
The funny thing about that is, over the past 3 years, I've almost kind of brought you around on that, because for a couple of years you were arguing we really shouldn't go fire with fire, and then I think it was the midterm election, you were like, nope, screw it, we're done.
Yep, pretty much.
I was originally arguing against you. We should go fire with fire.
Yeah, well, I mean, what ultimately turned it around is that just watching what's been happening, and the fact that the lawfare. I mean, there's so many dirty tactics that the Democrats have been using against Trump, And it's just like, come on, it's gotten to the point. This is ridiculous. It's like you just fucking the Republicans need to start using this exact same tactics against them, and to the point where they start crying uncle. Okay, we'll stop doing it. You stop doing it. We'll make a better society as a result. That's probably never going to happen, but it's just
only recognized as a punch to the face to get him to stop.
Pretty much, yeah.
Talking nicely to him isn't going to stop it.
Yeah, they need to. The Republicans really do need to escalate things to the level that the Democrats have been doing, and they're going to cry. I mean, they're going to complain, "Oh my God, they're using lawfare against us." I mean, we've seen them do this already. Mm-hmm. It's like, if Trump gets elected, he's going to use the law against us. You mean the very thing you've been doing to him?
Pandora's box that you guys opened. Yeah. Yes.
This is the can of worms you opened. It's your turn.
Yep. Eric K for $2. Originally, the common man could not vote. And if I had my way, it would be anybody who doesn't have skin in the game can't vote. If you don't pay taxes, you can't vote. I don't like doing it on the property because there's so much renting going on because of how bad we've run things. But if you don't pay taxes, I don't think you should get a say.
Easy enough to verify and check too, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I don't think it should be just landowners, but it's like if you pay taxes, if you don't pay taxes, you shouldn't be allowed to vote.
Right. I mean, because if you're not paying taxes, it's like Rush Limbaugh's old thing. Who's going to vote against Santa Claus? If the Dems are going to be Santa Claus to everybody who's on every welfare program, why would anybody ever vote against them if they're on all those programs?
Yep.
So taxes is the great divider that makes you an active participant in this country or not, even though I hate taxes.
Yes, absolutely.
I would love to see taxes abolished, and then we get to pick a different way to do it.
Because
right now, I think that's the fairest way to do it. Not that we're ever going to be able to do it, because everybody now considers voting a right, not a privilege.
Yeah, well, that's the problem, and this goes back to the civics issue that typically talks about. We need to teach this shit in schools that voting is a privilege. It's not a right. Just like your driver's license is a privilege. It's not a right. But that's kind of the whole problem with the entitlement generation.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm. There are Alexander de Tocqueville, who did a famous one of the first early political science analysis of the United States, right? When he did, I think it was on democracy, famously said that, let me get the exact quote because it's a great one. Tocqueville, Democracy in America.
I don't know the quote, so I can't help.
Well, I'm going to find it.
I might know it once I hear it.
To paraphrase, he did it. So he traveled around the early United States. He published the book, and he said American democracy is great and it'll work fine until the lawmakers realize they can bribe the people with their own money.
Right.
Yes, very much.
And that'll be the downfall.
It's very much the Rush Limbaugh, nobody votes against Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, can you pull up that video of the DC police chief? I think it was the first one I sent you of the two.
Yeah, here's the official quote. The American republic will endure until the day Congress discovers that it can bribe the public with the public's money. So it's pretty prescient that it was in there.
Yeah.
So the first one.
This little clip I just wanted to pull up because it's hilarious. So the DC police chief is the former department head of the DEI program for the police department in DC. And she's asked a question that she doesn't know the answer to, which any police chief should automatically know the answer to this, but DEI hire.
Here you go.
What the chain of command is now?
So the question is, what is the chain of command now?
This is after Trump has, started sending people in.
What does that mean?
Well, is it Pam Bondi speaking to the mayor, speaking to you, or how does this work?
So at the
So Muriel Bowser sees immediately this is going south. I'm going to jump in and save her.
The chief of
executive
police.
order is
Do you know what the chain of command is? What does that mean? I mean, what? Oh, and Muriel Bowser is an idiot too, but at least she's got her rehearsed answers.
Yep. She, I mean, the legacy of the home rule elected mayors of Washington, D.C. is long and storied at this point.
Yeah, I stay away from that part of the country, so I don't tend to pay attention.
Yep.
Never
The last time
DC, never visited New York City.
All right.
Yeah, the last time I visited DC was in the 90s. And
So
I mean, it was a shithole then. And I can't imagine how worse it is now.
So let me find, since we've done home rule, here we go. The very first one was Walter Washington. He was the first elected mayor, but right after him was the illustrious Marion Barry from January of 1979 to January of 1991.
And he was a crackhead?
Yeah, that's the best thing about it is not only did he get caught doing crack, he went to prison, and when he got out, they reelected him as mayor of DC.
Yeah.
So because
on Zach's channel last night, we actually watched a Jesse Lee Peterson video, and it was about Marion Barry, and he just kept going, but he was a crackhead. Why would you guys elect a crackhead?
So
Why?
well, yeah. So Marion Barry has to resign because he got caught. And Marion Barry, by the way, has one of the best quotes of all time as a defense. And he didn't claim entrapment the way you would legally do. No, his official wording for his defense was "bitch set me up." So he gets arrested and has to deal with that. So he leaves office, and Sharon Pratt Kelly takes over. She was the lieutenant, like the
lieutenant mayor, deputy mayor.
And she was so terrible. Like, she started buying all her own. I grew up, so I saw all these scandals happening in real time. Like, she started spending millions of dollars in the early 90s for her own shit. So that's when Marion Barry comes back out of, the slammer, and becomes mayor again in 1995, where he does another term through 1999, and that's when the Republicans in Congress first started saying we should take away home rule. You're becoming a joke. And because they were worried a little bit that it might actually happen, because remember, right after in 99, right, we get the 2000 election, we have George W. Bush, we have the Senate, we have the Congress. They could do it. So that's when they elect Anthony Williams.
With America.
Yep. So he runs for, he gets 2 terms. He wins in like 98 and in 2002. And Anthony Williams was probably, along with the guy who came in right after him, which was Adrian Fenty, probably Williams was the one who was basically a CFO bookkeeper type, and he was there to try to clean up the bad books of DC. And so I would say 99 to 2007 was probably, in my lifetime, the most well-run DC's ever been. While he was there. And here's the thing, he got run out. Like, Adrian Fenty, who was a younger guy, came in and was challenging him from the left, saying, we can't have Anthony Williams. Like, he's not doing enough for the people. So Adrian Fenty comes in for his 1 term and jacks things up, and is immediately replaced by Vincent Gray, who comes in and does his term, and he was a guy from the DC City Council, and he has his scandals. And then, since 2014, we've had Muriel Bowser. Who, at this point, the reason she's still there is because no one even wants it. They don't even, like, DC is such a shithole, terrible place to run. None of the city councilmen want to do it. Muriel Bowser, she does enough that she gets reelected, but no, like the voting population of DC is dropping, the city's population's dropping. Since COVID, the numbers have gone even further down. So she's effectively a placeholder because no one gives a shit about actually running DC now.
Yeah, nobody can afford to live there.
Yep.
It's not the politicians that are there, and their corruption with insider trading and everything
Yeah,
else.
so as Jaffo's saying, there's really nice residential areas where the politicians live. Right now, the area where a lot of that, and here's why, by the way, DC is, this is where things went south. The Navy Yard is the zone around the Nationals baseball park.
Mm-hmm.
And the Nationals moved in around the late 2000s from being the Montreal Expos, and then they completely redeveloped that whole area. They kicked out all the shitty clubs.
Gentrified it.
Well, there was a lot of gay clubs and other things there.
I bet that upset a whole bunch of staffers.
They did. They did. So they were very upset. They protested, but no one cared because they wanted a baseball stadium there. And once the baseball stadium was getting built, they built a whole bunch of really expensive high-rise condos and all those other things. So the Navy Yard is about 2 miles a walk straight to the Capitol building. So this is where all the staffers live.
Right.
And all that kind of stuff. So this is the zone. This is where Big Balls got assaulted because now that's where
you're getting into the touristy area, and people should be allowed to visit their capital.
So the one thing that DC had done fairly decently was to the area around the National Mall and the area going to like the Navy Yard, they kept that clean. But it's been gone in the last couple years. That's where DC is having problems because they're not keeping the high visibility points clean.
Well, so, I mean, they had a little bit of trouble in 2020, the Summer of Love.
Yep. So this is why Trump was right to take over. He's going to get his 30 days. I don't think that Congress is going to be able to muster enough support to keep him in control. But it's going to be hard because he's making a difference right now. So when things get really cleaned up and then immediately go back to shit after he's not in charge anymore, it's a very visible problem.
The funny thing is, though, I mean, something like this that's making, national news, everybody's losing their friggin' minds about it. It's just one thing out of like 70 that Trump's doing on any given week. Like any other administration, I mean, this would be the focus for like a month. Like this would be the administration's focus. Trump just throws it out there like, okay, we're doing this while we're also doing this, and we're also doing this and this and this. He keeps them so on the back foot they don't know what's going on anymore, and it's hilarious to watch. We're almost at the 2 hours. I would like to pull up the John Oliver clip if you could pull up that one. I just found this hilarious. I hate John Oliver.
I do too.
But
He's a fucking retard.
This was him actually going after Chuck Schumer, and it's hilarious because apparently Chuck Schumer has been talking about the same family that has guided all of his decisions over the past few decades, and they don't exist.
Oh yeah, I remember you talking about that.
You working on it, Chad?
Yeah, I'm just...
It was that last one, I believe.
Yep. Just putting it in right now.
Cool. It's a longer clip. We'll just go into
So you want to talk less about China?
All right, ready to go.
Yeah.
Just real quick, I see Mark Daly like Trump shouldn't be doing this in D.C., should be doing it in purple. He can't in states.
The whole point is he can only do it in D.C. because it's a federalized city.
Exactly. He's not allowed to, under the Posse Comitatus Act,
use the military against
without
the civilians.
He can declare, he can nationalize the National Guard to do riot control and things.
Which even then, it's mostly guarding federal buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So,
without outright declaring like martial law, which I don't think any of us would agree with.
No,
I don't think he could get away with anything.
No. So yeah, they.
I think we get the point. We don't have to do the whole 6 minutes, but yeah, they're non-existent. He has conversations with them in his own head.
Well, hold on.
And that's what's guiding everything.
It makes so much more sense now, because remember when he was grilling those burgers and said they were done?
Yeah.
They were for the Baileys. So
he had cheese on frozen burgers that hadn't started cooking yet.
That's just weird.
They were probably at the Bailey's house. Yeah, Chad, you're right.
Yeah.
But I just thought that was hilarious. I hate John Oliver, so I never would have seen that if someone hadn't posted it on Twitter.
So here's
whoever the watermark was on there. But
here's the deeper meaning of that. They're done with Chuck Schumer now.
Yes,
they want him replaced.
If John Oliver's attacking, then it's over.
They have permission now to go after him. That's the thing.
So that means they will ridicule him, to shame him, to publicly make it known to him that it's time for him to move on, to make way for AOC. For her taco
because she's trying to
kisses.
run for senator.
Big booty Latina.
Big booty Latina. Gonna be a senator.
Go be a senator. Look at her. She persist with that big booty in the Senate.
Taco flavored kisses.
Should we play it, Brahma?
It's one of the best episodes of South Park.
No, we've got the voiceover for it. And then we'll do some memes and do some outros, and we've got some other stuff that can probably be pushed for a little bit because it's not time sensitive.
Is that true, Congresswoman?
Yes, I like to sing Mexican songs, senor. Would you like to hear my favorite song?
Absolutely.
Okay, here goes, senor. Burrito, taco, taco, burrito, taco, taco, taco. Don't think just because I got a lot of money, I'll give you taco flavored kisses, honey. Fulfill all your wishes with my taco flavored kisses. Taco, taco, burrito, burrito.
I heard you like to sing. Is that true?
It was a good episode of South Park.
Yeah. That is a great episode of South Park.
I'm wondering what they're doing.
Miss Jennifer Lopez.
I'm kind of wondering what they're doing, because this is twice now they've taken a week off in between shows.
No, that's the schedule.
They're doing that the whole season this time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I wonder why.
I don't know.
It's never been a problem for them to pump it out before. Are they doing a full season, or is it only 10 episodes? Or
it's only 10 episodes.
Okay. Kind of sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Especially since they haven't been as... I mean, I was watching something on it yesterday. I mean, the searches for South Park have gone way down since they keep taking weeks off. But we got some memes. Deeple's going to try to get us in trouble.
Oh, as he does. Yeah,
I think I found my new lawyer.
Yeah, the next episode is this Wednesday. So I think they're doing 10 episodes. I think they're doing one every other week.
Yeah.
Breaking news. I don't know if you saw the motorcade of Zelensky is going forward to get him to the guest house.
No, I haven't been paying attention. I've been trying to do the show.
Yeah, so he's on... I keep eyes. I got multiple monitors. I can do this.
Yeah. I think I found my new lawyer. Just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. Larry L. Archie.
Is he representing the kid down in Texas who took out the other football player? Because that sounds about like the defense.
Right.
Yeah, that thing fucking went away.
Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, because as soon as they found that other footage of the incident,
where it's clear that it was not self-defense in any way, and he
sure.
grabbed the knife and just stabbed him in the heart. Everything got quiet.
Multiple reporters were allowed to go in and view it, and as soon as their articles hit where they were like, it's crystal clear, he just grabbed the knife and did it.
Yeah.
Wow.
It just disappeared.
He started it and he finished it. You shouldn't ever need proof to believe a rape victim, no matter the circumstances.
Yeah, using To Kill a Mockingbird is a great example of that one.
Yep.
40 to 43% that are going to vote Democrat. They're going to, it's not going to just disappear. Even if they're polling that way.
That's what I was saying earlier, is the other party does eventually come back to power. Yep. And we had plenty of talk of red waves in the midterms and stuff, and did not happen, because polling 2 years out doesn't mean crap. It's just a snapshot of what's going on at any given time. Wandering the grocery store aisles looking for the real food. Anthony Hopkins. Grooming white girls, graping white girls, posting a meme.
Yep.
The London police are going for number 3.
Yeah, well, because that's the easiest thing, right? I mean, if they, what with the other two, you know, they would actually have to do some police work. And maybe some people might get mad.
Well, that's like the story that was going through social media this week about the London cops, that women that are basically running as part of their shift to try to get cat calls so that they can then fine or arrest the guys who are catcalling them.
Yeah. Okay. Is catcalling now illegal in the UK?
I mean, they can arrest you for any kind of speech, apparently.
I guess
if they don't like it.
That
I
is
don't
absolutely...
know that there are actual arrests going on, more so than warnings and fines.
Still, that's so fucking retarded.
I hesitate to say too much on the arrest side of it. Goth girls are out. OSHA approved. Goth girls are in.
Yeah, goth
and Visigoth.
goth. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Client expectations, client budget.
Yes, that is always the case.
Anakin, why couldn't you pay for dinner? Your MasterCard got declined. He's not a master.
That's funny.
This escape room sucks. Once again, sir, this is just Britain.
Accurate.
What do I like most about my job? Payday, breaks, and leaving.
Yeah.
That's the case for most people.
Yep.
All communist theory is essentially this: I want you dead and I want your money. That was the best Joan Cusack ever looked.
Yep.
That's only because it was the most low-cut outfit she ever wore.
Yes, it was.
What movie was
it? It was
that?
the whole
That
movie,
was
Addams Family Values.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
She marries Fester.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Why would the members of the J6 committee beg for auto pen pardons unless they committed crimes? The cost of living has gotten so high, my wife has started to have sex with me because she can't afford batteries. Liberals. Attractive women selling jeans. Liberals. Gay black women playing Jesus.
Yep, pretty much.
Very true.
Priorities, man. You got to have your priorities.
Yep. That Parrot Head said he sent a couple, so I'll go have a look real quick.
Well, you're pulling that one up. I want to share this because apparently this is happening now.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson is getting in trouble because he reposted a Charlie Kirk X tweet. Look, it's the Cartman Charlie Kirk too.
Yeah.
It's all about Jesus. So Lamar Jackson shared it, which means Charlie Kirk's on his feed. So interesting. Yeah. Well, I got some people on the Ravens on my fantasy squad, so I'm not going to be upset if he has a good season. So that'll be interesting to see if he quickly backpedals or if he stands up for it.
Mm-hmm. Lamar Jackson made me a ton of money back in the day. I put a $100 bet on him at 35 to 1 on the Heisman on the first day of the season. And yeah, I made a nice $3,500 out of that. And then I parlayed that into 3-card poker that I made another about 2,000. So I like Lamar. White liberals and black conservatives.
Yep, accurate.
There are no other rights if you can't defend them. Nice. This must be for Mad. Dallas Cowboys ask if fans can throw those green things at them like people do at the WNBA games. I hope he's still watching. Minneapolis mayoral candidate introduces plan to revitalize the city by hijacking other cities and plundering their treasure. I am to Captain now.
Yeah, pretty much.
We will go into St. Paul and we will take over.
And then a typical parrot head meme. All right. Comics. What do you got coming up this week?
Oh, well, the usual shenanigans. So, of course, there's, Monday Night Meltdown, Thursday Night Throwdown, and Friday Night Tights, and I'll probably do a gaming stream Friday night. So there's that. And one of these days, when hell freezes over, I'll put out a video. And hell freezing over is when I get done with this app I've been working on. So hopefully that's been taking up a lot of my time.
Nice.
Yeah.
One of these Fridays when you don't game, you'll have to come join us over on Ascendant Art.
Will do, sir.
And we can announce it on Thursday. Maybe get these guys some subs. Chad, what do you got coming up?
As long as we stay Bestman style under the Empire's attention, we'll be fine. I just want to get where I can get super chats and then shill for my own channel.
He does love shilling.
That's true. And if you want to shill on the, you want me to hear you shill, please send a super chat or join Brahma's channel as a member, and I'll be glad to give you a shout out again as I promote that's available.
We may
Or
even let
Comix
Chad start
Division's
reading the
channel.
super chats in his excited voice.
Ooh. Because did you know that Comix Division is also monetized and you can subscribe and join there?
Yes, you absolutely can.
Multiple places.
But what isn't monetized is the Ascendant Art podcast, which is Friday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, where we just hang out and have a good time. It is, in my personal opinion, the most fun unmonetized stream on YouTube outside of Mad's new channel, which is also unmonetized. So both of us could use subs, but mine first, my channel first, then Mad's, then Culture's 17th channel.
Yeah, help add all of us little channels. Yep. And I'm still working my way towards 1,000. I'm still only at 620, and it's been there for I think probably 6 months. After that initial bullpen push where we did the election stream and stuff, there hasn't been a lot of subs, but I also don't have the time to do videos and stuff, so it's not really, I'm not going to catch the algorithm if I can't put in the work. So we're happy doing the streams.
Ooh, Deeple going to fight in words that I agree with. Ascendant Art is better than Mad's new channel.
Ooh.
Ooh.
It often makes more sense.
That's true.
We got some crazy stories on Mad's channel.
But we have a good time at all the different channels. I think they serve to give us nice wide variety of perspective and fun, where you see each individual person's tastes and views come out, which is always good. And eventually we should come up with some kind of TV guide for our sphere of the internet, so they can know all our channels and what we're covering.
I saw that talk going on in the community thing.
Yep. So it would be helpful. That way we could spread it. Because as Brahma likes to say, subs cost nothing. So the more monetized channels we can get, the better for everybody.
Don't make us
involved.
earn the sub. Just make us earn the notification bell.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to tell you ring it if you don't want to. But, just hit the sub button. Come on, guys.
Of course, almost everybody here is pretty loyal to all three of our channels, I believe. So.
Yeah, I think most of the people in chat right now are, so we're preaching to the choir.
We've got a pretty solid chat that kind of follows a group of us that we all really appreciate. So
Absolutely.
As for me, let's see, tomorrow I'm on with Comix. Tuesday, Mad's new channel. Wednesday, I believe we've got a Christian panel this week. Thursday, back with Comix. Friday, Ascendant Art. Saturday, I have been hanging out with Zach since we don't have the bourbon and boarding going right now because hockey is in the off season. And then we're right back here for Sundays. So thank you everybody for the super chats and membership gifts tonight. we will play some closing credits and hope everybody has a great week. Catch you later.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah,
And here's
we'll
the
probably
closing
talk over the
credits.
closing credits anyway.
Yeah, probably. I don't need it, so it's fine.
Because only a small handful like the song. So.
Ooh, you got a super chat at the end.
Eric K for $2. I do not follow nor listen to any of you a-holes. Master of mods right there.
Indeed.
Also, all the links to all the people that we tend to have guests on this channel are in the description. So go click on them and you can sub right now. And if you could leave a comment or something just so we get some engagement, because they're not counting views, as we've said over the past few weeks. So appreciate y'all.
Bye, everyone.
Oh, look at there. Yes, we have a proper wrap-up ending. But it is the shtick that's Slenderdad likes to just nuke our stream when he hits that point.
Yeah, but at least when he nukes it now, it goes to the closing video instead of just gone.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. By the way, I do plan to have the candy bar trivia for this week. That'll be
Nice.
a real fun one.
Eric K is just a little bit salty because we didn't mention his meat tonight, which he does make very good meat and brings it to the meetups. And he carts everybody around, and sometimes I make him late for the meetup.
Well, that part's true.
Yeah, that definitely happened. And then I apologized to Melissa, and then she was like, "Wait, what are you talking about?"
You were late?
No, about Eric being late because
know.
he was supposed to be doing it. So things have a way of working out because we're all buddies.
Yes.
It's true. We all are. Although, luckily, somehow Brahma survived the sleep rover. Beating around all his buddies in person.
Oh, we honestly don't know if I'm still surviving. I mean, until the bites are gone, we don't know what's in me.
I don't know. Your numbers are getting better from what you're on.
Yeah. Well, I bought that blood pressure monitor. I've been drinking quite a bit less. I don't drink on streams hardly at all anymore unless it's beer.
That's true. That's true.
The song ran out before the members. This is a good thing.
I think it's good to dial back the drinking a little bit. Did I unsub somehow?
Copied. I think you were the very first one on the list, weren't you?
Yeah.
So what happened with you're cutting back on the bourbon because something has been going on?
This
Oh,
mother
no,
effer,
Chad's worried about my
his
high blood pressure.
Oh,
he
okay.
clocked it at like 190 over 110.
Which technically you're supposed to go to the emergency room or something. But
Yes, you are.
I think it was because I was clenching my fist because I didn't know you were supposed to have it relaxed. Because I had the wrist cuff and I had it in a fist and didn't have it above my heart or even with my heart. So I think it was just a bad reading. But
it happened a few times.
no, just in general, good idea to slow down on the drinking
Yes,
because
yes.
since starting YouTube and doing shows every night now and being expected to drink on the shows by certain people, it's gotten too much.
Look,
So
if nothing
just
else,
trying to
we have
slow
to-
down in general.
if
Yeah,
nothing
well,
else,
I mean,
we
you don't
have
want
make
to
sure
take out
you're-
your freaking liver like my brother did. I mean,
I was going
Yeah.
to say you need to you just need to make sure that you can continue to let your wife live in disappointment that she doesn't get to cash in that.
We're still
insurance.
live.
yep.
No, I know. You've talked
All right.
about how insured you are.
Oh yeah, I'm an insurance agent, so of course I'm insured.
No, I know that you're. I mean, I know what it's like. I'm overinsured too. Anytime I travel, it'd be like if I'm gone, it's cha-ching.
That's what we do with my parents. Every time they get on a plane, they have to text us that they've landed, and then we are all like, "Oh."
Like they text that you like, hey, before you leave, what were the companies you have policies with again?
Yes. Did you leave me the list of passwords to get into everything?
Did you make sure? Did you make sure that it's a that my power of attorney will allow me access to the bank accounts without your death certificate?
I don't know, Mutant Banhammer. We just kept talking. It's overtime where it's no politics at all.
Indeed.
No, at some point we'll do that. But tonight, we've got to have it kind of planned because I don't want to keep people later than what they were expecting. So
yeah, next week, if you want overtime, it's gonna be $50 in super chats.
Chad's gonna go crazy again.
$50
super chats or
in super
memberships.
chats
I think
or
we actually
memberships.
got close to that tonight. So
I know. That's why I'm giving a reachable goal there, Brahma.
alrighty, thanks everybody. Have a great night.
Bye, everybody.
Not everyone.
For real this time.